Hello. Today I wanted to go over a little more basic skill of just making a copy of a pattern. There are two ways of doing it. There's one way of just making a copy from one folder and putting it into another folder. And another way is to actually rename it so that you have a duplicate version, cloning it basically. Because the last thing you want to do is to open up an existing pattern and play around with it and do something that you want to go back to the previous version. And if the previous version's not there, so frustrating. So it's always safe to make a copy of something. These files are very small. They don't take up that much space in your computer. So it's worth just having a new copy and then a new copy and a new copy again. So I was going to start with something that I have in my folder called Fall Production. Let's say the 321. I want to make a copy of that. And I want to put the new copy in the new 2023 folder. So first I check to make sure the 321 is not in here. A super clear way of doing that is to use our filter bar at the top here, where it has an asterisk. You just type in the information you're looking for and put an asterisk at the end, hit enter, and it'll show you there's nothing in here with 321 in the name. Whereas if I go to Fall Production, there is 321. There's a model, there's pieces that are attached to that model, and there are orders and markers, which we're not going to worry about right now. So super easy to make a copy. One way is to right click on it and then use a copy and then go to the folder you want to put it in and just click on the folder itself, right click, paste components is what you want. And as you'll see, it brings not only the model, but also the pattern pieces that go with it. So components are basically the parts that make up that pattern. So it's not just the list of the pattern pieces, but also all the pieces that are listed there. So that's why it brings the pieces with it when you do right click, paste components. The other way to make a copy is to make it and rename it slightly differently. So a system I picked up from working in a company was to use this P1. And that means pattern 1 or proto 1. And that means that's your first pattern. And then you sew up a sample, you decide what changes you make. And before you start making changes, you rename the pattern to P2. And then you'll always have your P1 as it was. And you'll have your latest pattern as P2. So the way to make a copy with the new name is to choose the model itself. So right here under type, it's the model, which is the piece list, and it shows me which pieces are involved. Again, we're going to right click on things. And then this one, we're going to do save as with components. Again, components are the pattern pieces that go along with that list, and we want to save and rename them as well. So save as with components. We can either keep it in the same folder or move it to a different folder. Let's keep it in the same one. Open. And now it tells me what it is currently. And you can just type in what model name you want right here. I click until I get in there and type in a 2 instead of 1. A way to more quickly replace all of them is to type what you want to take out. Okay, up here was the model, the piece list. Down here is actually all the piece names. So this is what they're currently called, and this is what you want them to be called. I don't know why they include the model name here. It's kind of annoying, but whatever. So we want to take out the information that says 321-P1, and we want to replace it with 321-P2. You'll notice nothing has changed yet. To make it change, you have to actually hit apply. If you hit OK without applying, it'll say, hey, you haven't really changed anything yet. Let's just do that to see. It says things have not changed yet. Is that okay? No. We want to actually apply the changes. And voila, it changes from P1 to P2. So we have a model that's called 321P2 and pieces that are called 321P2. Very important that they're both called the same thing so that later when you use the filter to look them up, you can find exactly what you want. Okay. Last step, click OK. It does its job. Now we have a second model called P2, and in it are all the pieces that are also listed as P2. You can go ahead, make all your changes, not worrying about changing the original. Okay. So the first way was to right click on it and copy, and then click on the new folder where you want it, right click, paste components. Now we have both patterns in both folders. And then the second way was to actually rename it using save as with components. Just to repeat here, I'm going to put this one in, I'm going to put it back into new. But this time I'm going to call it P2. Little bonus shortcut here. You can also select information from the destination. I'm highlighting just the information I want to change. Control copy to copy it. Control paste. I want to take it out of both the model and the pieces. And then I can also paste that information here and just delete the 2 and add a 3. That's my new information I want in the model. Control copy, control paste. Old information, new information for pieces. Old information, new information for models. I used copy and paste, so I made sure to get the information exactly. Apply, and OK. It's not popping up here because I chose this other folder as my destination. Now I have 3 copies of the exact same pattern, just as an example. So super easy to make copies. That way all the pieces go with it. The pieces get renamed. You're not overwriting the old pieces. You can just mess around to your heart's content. All right. Hopefully that was useful. Definitely a great starting point whenever you're working in Gerber is to make a copy. All right.